Hi, everybody. Welcome back to another installment of our Southern California first-time buyer market update. I'm actually down in San Diego right now at the National Association of Realtors conference. It was pretty local to us this year, so I thought I would head on down. Beautiful weather in San Diego. Just a reminder, I'm Stephen Meade with Domicile Real Estate, where we are on a mission to help California's renters become homeowners. That's what we are about. And I want to talk about the most boring advice. And I'm reviewing, as I'm reviewing the market stats, I kind of want to give a little bit of guidance because I think there's a lot of FOMO or fear of missing out going on. And I think there's a lot of people looking for kind of a magic bullet type solution. So I'm going to give you what I think is the best advice to give any first-time home buyer right now. And I'm going to tell you it is going to sound like boring advice, but really, I think this is probably the best thing that you can do and the best strategy in a market like this. We are in a market where the difficulty is fluctuating, right? The competitive of the market is fluctuating just about every single week. And some weeks are definitely better than others, but none of them are easy weeks. To compound on that, we've got inventory that is dropping, and I'll spoil the surprise, that's continuing again this week. So, if you're a first-time home buyer in this space, this is my advice to you. And this is going to sound like very boring advice, but really, if I were in the market as a first-time home buyer, this is what I would be doing personally. Stop trying to time the market. And I say this as someone who's reporting to you on market statistics. If you want to be successful in this market, the best thing I can tell you to do is be out there, be in this market, look for something that is going to work for you, and have an eye on long-term home ownership. Long-term home ownership gives you options. It doesn't say you have to keep a house for 5 years, but wouldn't it be great that if you could, or you could keep something as a rental? You really want to have your options laid out to you. And I think what that means is in a market like this, looking for those opportunities where the right house comes up. We are in a very low inventory market. And I think for those of you trying to time the market, right, trying to buy at exactly the right time, I think you're missing the boat. I think it is far more important that you buy the right house than whether or not you got it for $5,000 or even $10,000 less because you picked the right week to go house shopping. The wrong house will cost you more than $10,000. I promise, right? And you'll sit there the whole time living in it, not being happy. So you've got to be involved and stay in this market, and you don't want to give up. I think you want to keep your eyes open and treat this like, have a little bit of faith in the process that you are going to find the right place. But you do need to stick with it. Like I said, probably not the most exciting advice. It's not a top 10, do this, and I promise you'll be happy. It's not anything super marketable, but really, if I were in this market, that's the advice. That's what I would be doing. That would be my strategy is I'm just going to keep my eyes open, and I'm going to write good offers on the places that I think really work for me and meet my needs. So with that said, let's go ahead, jump in, and take a look at our market stats because it is kind of interesting this week. So looking at price. Now, just a reminder, this is prices that have moved maybe 4 to 6 weeks ago because these are closed prices. And what do we see? Upward numbers on both 730 here for our entry-level single-family home, which is once again a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, and 520 here for our entry-level condo. What do we see here? Steady price increases, not fast price increases, but steady. I think that is a good characterization of our market. Just as a reminder, this is for Los Angeles and Orange counties. If you're outside that county, it might be similar, but definitely check in with us. And also just a reminder, this is what's called first quartile. That means we take the median and then we go halfway between the cheapest and the median. That would be the first quartile, or at the 25% level. And we think that's a good approximation of the entry-level home buyer market. Now, if we go down here and we take a look, where does that put our total monthly payment? $4,100 here for a single family home. Definitely not the highest it has been. I keep a close eye on this payment because really, I think that's when we start to understand whether we have a market that is still on solid fundamentals or not. If you look here, this is what I think is a very realistic scenario for first-time home buyers: 5% down, including mortgage insurance, taxes, etc. And this is on our entry-level single-family home and our entry-level condo, which is at $3,200 a month. Again, neither of these is at the peaks of where they've been. I think we actually have a fairly healthy market from an affordability perspective. I know I say that every week, but I will promise I will let you know when I think that that has changed. And just, as this kind of guideline, where do you need to be in a household income? $101,000 is the minimum income with no other debts to afford our entry-level single-family home, and about $78,000 for our entry-level condo. We are seeing this condo market start to pick up a little bit more. I think we've been predicting that over the last couple of months, that we're going to see some strength in that condo market, and we are. There is a reason also for that we're seeing that condo market. Now, our absorption rate, this is something a little bit interesting. We've had kind of a couple of blockbuster weeks, right? 101%, 102%. Our condo market has gone down to 99%, still a highly competitive market. But our entry-level single-family home market really took a little bit of a tumble on competitiveness, down to 90%. Now, tumble is a very relative term, right? Just to go over it as a reminder, 70 to 80% is, what we would call a seller's market. 80 to 90% is a very strong seller's market, and 90% plus is a, kind of more of a crazy limited inventory. Houses are just getting bought up market. But this is a little bit of an improvement that we've seen. I think finally we're starting to see a little bit of slowdown in the buyers that is matching that slowdown we've seen with sellers putting their homes on the market. If you look at our total inventory, this is kind of the chart that I think, when I'm advocating for first-time home buyers, this is the chart that scares me. And this is the reason why that strategy of looking for the right house and worrying less about, buying it on the week that it's the cheapest. If you look here, look at where we are. We have dropped down to maybe the same inventory level in our entry-level single-family homes that we had towards the end of May. And we had an extra dip, a rise, and then another dip. If you draw a line through here, you see that's kind of a pretty linear fall. Also, look at where we were in November. In November, we were around 1,750 houses of inventory last year. Where are we in November this year? Well, we're below 1,500. So we are absolutely down about 20% in inventory for our single-family homes. But look at this chart on condos. There are practically no condos for sale. So think about this for a second. In all of Los Angeles and Orange counties, right? LA County is gigantic, 10 million people. Orange County, I think, is like 4.5 million people, 5 million people. Across 15 million people, we only have 1,000 two-bedroom, two-bath condos in available inventory. That is crazy. Look where we were in November of last year. We had nearly double that much. So think, condo inventory is down almost 50%. There's only one place for prices to go when that happens, and it is moving upward. Now, if we look at our 14 days still active, so this is another kind of measurement of market competitiveness. And if we look at here, you'll see the market got less competitive, but then it's kind of stayed in this range since the middle of August. It hasn't really changed that much. In fact, our condo market has actually arguably gotten a little bit more competitive, I think. Finally, let's take a look at our week supply of homes. Now, we are seeing this number rise a little bit, as we head into kind of what I call deep fall or close to the holidays. In years past, we have seen that we're almost at exactly the same level of weeks of inventory that we were at last year for our single family home. So that part is good. It's saying that the market is reaching a point that I think is around the same level of relative inventory. And when I say relative inventory, I mean relative to the number of people buying as we were at last year. So I think that's kind of a little bit of a bright spot. Condos, our inventory level got a little bit better, but compared to where we were last year, we had 9.5 weeks of inventory, and we have 4.5 weeks or so of inventory. Again, really this is the telling story showing that these markets are acting very differently. The condo market is definitely more constricted than the entry level single family home market. So just something to kind of think about there when you're evaluating this. Thank you guys for watching. I know I say too many times. I'm trying to reduce on that. We really appreciate it when people post questions. We love answering questions, talking about the market. If you are a first-time home buyer and you would like our help, we would love to help you achieve your dream of home ownership if you're in Southern California. Definitely, there's a link down in the description if you're watching us on YouTube. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. If you are watching us on YouTube, we really appreciate that. And have a great weekend, everybody. We'll see you again on Tuesday for our whole market. Again, this one is geared specifically towards entry-level buyers, but we'll see you next week for our whole market inventory or whole market analysis and update. Have a great weekend, everybody.